Hi everyone, this is Mac. This is more of the Grief Journal. And Alina passed a week ago today. And my wife had to tell me it was a week ago today because that doesn't seem possible. The only analogy that comes to mind to explain what time feels like right now, time changes for people when a major tragedy happens in their life. Time is not the same as it is for everybody else. It feels like you got wading boots on, you're sledging through, or have you ever swum in a lake with a lot of grass and debris in it? It feels like, you're swimming, but you're like being pulled back by a lot of things. Like it's just not as it's just not the same. It feels like you're dragging. It feels like you got weights on you. I don't even know where to begin. Don and I had done very little to no self-care for quite a while because we were putting all of our energy into of course, caring for our loved one. And so we were not only exhausted, but just had not been eating the best or making sure we drank enough water or sleeping well or exercising or doing the things we would normally do, is taking care of ourselves, because that stuff kind of goes on the back burner when you're caring for someone who's got a terminal disease. And there's that. So it's trying to navigate, it's time to do some self-care. And then for me, it's a struggle to feel like and to be at a place in my life where I'm okay with saying it's time to do some self-care publicly, and I'm okay with because I was not raised where people did that. I was not raised where people talked about this stuff. I was not raised where people modeled dealing with grief or self-care in any kind of a healthy way. So the struggle to figure this out the hard way is it's a struggle. And yet I think it's really important that I talk about this openly and be vulnerable about it, because what I'm realizing is that most of us don't have really good, healthy modeling in all of this, and it's okay to take some time away. I'm an activist, and there's a part of me that's trying to pull me back in and go, we got to work hard right now to do all the things we need to do to make things better for everybody. And you know what? We do. And right now I've got to take some time away for mine and my wife's mental health. We have to take some time to recharge, to rebuild, because we gave everything in our heart and soul. And we're grieving not one death, but two deaths. And I'm facing another one of someone in my inner circle really in the near future. And that's, I'm working hard right now for the first time in my life to face grief head on, like I've faced opponents in the ring. To look it in the eye and say, I'm not going to ignore you. I'm not going to get busy, which is my normal way to handle it, because I'm a doer and a problem solver. So what I normally do is I get busy doing the things that have to be done and solving the problems that have to be solved, and don't like give myself time to feel or deal with feelings. Or talk about it with anyone. Really talk about it with anyone. You know. And, I'm at a very different place in my life where I know that that's not the most healthy way to deal with things. And I'm also at a place where I'm consciously willing to be raw and vulnerable enough to talk about it. And there's probably a part of me that some of my give a fucks have gone away about what people think. So if people think that I'm less of a man or less of a person or not strong enough because I'm admitting that I need some time for self-care, then what I realize is that they just haven't come to a place of realization yet. They're early and young in the journey, because I didn't get it at one time either. So I'm not going to harsh on them. There was a time we all didn't know what we know now. And I think that, my wife gets really frustrated with me sometimes because I have that kind of, compassionate or empathetic heart. And because I think it's a love-hate thing. I think she loves that about me, and it frustrates her sometimes. But because I won't just say fuck you to those people, I actually realized that, hey, there was times I didn't know that stuff. There was times I didn't get it. And, so I know that they're at a place in the road of the journey, and they're not at a place where they can understand it right now. And I also realize that some people never get there. I'm an intelligent person. I'm an optimist, but not a pie-in-the-sky person where I believe everybody is inherently good or everybody will get there. Some people don't get there this round of life. And that's okay. They're young souls. They'll come back. And unfortunately, they'll have a harder journey for not getting it the last time. But but we all learn the way we learn, and I just think we should be compassionate to one another. One of the things that has stuck out to me is you really learn through these situations who your surface friends are. And then sometimes the friends you thought were deeper, you learn through these type of situations aren't as deep as you thought. And then people you didn't expect at all step up in a way and have real conversations with you in a way that friends you've had for years aren't willing to have. You learn a lot about people's depth and their willingness to be vulnerable with you. I have some friends that have messaged me and checked in on me consistently. And then I have some friends that are in my inner circle that you would think would do that I haven't heard from at all. And then you have some people, like I said, that totally, like, are newer friends or acquaintances that totally surprise you and keep stepping up and checking in and saying, what can I do? How can I be there for you? And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And it just tells you where people are. It's not a harsh judgment thing, like I said, but it just tells you where people are. And this, today I took some self-care time, and I took Obi-Wan, and we went for a nature hike, and it was so healing to be in nature today. Between the happiness of the puppy loving the trails and his hound nose like so happy sniffing everything, and he loves being out there, to looking at the growth and the trees and the just there's both death and life in nature. And one of the things that really spoke to me and stuck out to me today in this nature walk was how often I saw new growth and new life literally growing out of death, literally growing out of a tree that's down, like new trees sprouting out of a tree that's down, because that death was fertilizing the life.